What's up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my podcast, Happy Days, with me, Callum Church. And for today's episode, I'm going to title it something around, well, you guys already know if you listen to this, you'll know what the title is, but I'm going to title it something around, getting back on track, getting your life back on track, getting back on track with things. Because I've got to be honest with you guys, I've really been off the pace recently. I've really been lacking in my habits. I've really been lacking in terms of getting up early in the morning. I've been sleeping in. I've not been practicing my good habits. I'm just not being the type of person which I want to be. But I've recently had a friend of mine move to my town. Jack Wettenstill, if you don't know him, I did record an episode with him. It's an awesome episode. I highly recommend you check that out if you haven't done already. Jack's an awesome guy, but it's only been until Jack's moved down to Worthing that I've been back on track with things properly. And it's been like this for a little while, where I've been sort of off the pace and lacking a bit. And I've kind of been on, off. But it's only been, this week where I've properly nailed the week. I'm really happy with myself this week. And I feel like I'm back to my best self again, back to the best version of Callum, back to building the best version of Callum possible. And as I say, it's only been until Jack sort of moved down to Worthing, and actually, I suppose he's helped me indirectly, but he's helped me to get back on track with things, get back on track with becoming the person that I want to be. And there's a number of reasons for this, and this is kind of what I'm going to structure today's episode around. It's just some of the things which has helped me to get myself back on track, and can I offer them to you guys as maybe a solution to maybe something you guys might be struggling with, or maybe you feel like you're lacking a bit in the personal development space, or whatever it is. Maybe these 4 things which I'm going to list off and talk through, maybe these 4 things can help you to get your life back on track, help you get back on track, help you get to back to becoming the best version of yourself. Now, first of all, I just want to highlight that it's not a bad thing to fall off the wagon every now and then. Hey guys, just a quick note. I've just noticed during editing that I totally misused the phrase fall off the wagon. When I say this, I'm not talking about alcohol or anything like that. Totally misused it, and I just mean in general, fall off the wagon. When I say that, I mean just fell out of my good habits, practicing bad habits, that kind of thing. Alright guys, enjoy the episode. Cheers. It's not a bad thing to, struggle. It's not. But I tell you what isn't okay is if you accept it. If you accept that things aren't going well and you take no action towards making it better, that is a bad thing. Because look, we are all human, right? We're not machines. As much as, the grind side of social media wants to tell you that you got to get up, you got to be a monster, you got to be a machine, you got to put in the work all the time. Yes, you do have to put in the work, obviously, but you have to remember that we are not made out of metal and cogs and springs and chains. We're made out of flesh and muscle and bone, and we are all human. We are all naturally flawed, and we're all going to fall off the wagon at some point. Everyone will. That's a fact. No one goes through their entire life without messing up every now and then. Even all the people that are on the grind side of social media, or even all the gurus and the influencers that's telling you that you got to put the work in every single day. You can't afford to make mistakes. You can't afford to fall off the wagon. You got to be on it all the time. Those people have struggled. You have to understand that. Do you honestly believe that these people go through their entire lives without messing up every now and then? Of course they don't. Why? Because they are human, and actually, failure is something we should embrace. We should embrace failure, and we should enjoy failure, because it's through failure in which you learn. I've learned these 4 things which I'm about to list off to you guys. I've learned that these are some of the most important things that help me to become a better person, a more positive person, a person that's going in the direction that I want to go in. These 4 things make a successful person. So that's what I'm offering it to you guys now in this episode, and I do hope you enjoy it. And I honestly do believe that these things will help you. So, what am I talking about here? This is how to get your life back on track. Okay, so here's number 1. is habits. Keep practicing your good habits, you know. I mean, get up early, for fuck's sake, you know. Because for me, I was sleeping in, I was being, you know, I was terrible, and I wasn't practicing my good habits. Usually I'd get up first thing, go out for a run, and, you know, get in that sort of discomfort. Do the worst or maybe the best activity of the day, which is your exercise. You know, some people love it, some people hate it. For me, it's probably a bit of both, you know. Sometimes I want to get it out of the way, but sometimes I love it. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't exercising nearly enough as I should be. You know, I wasn't eating very healthy. What other habits do I have? I wasn't doing my skincare routine, which some people might laugh at me for doing that, but you know what? Everyone's got to take care of themselves. You know, I just wasn't doing all these small micro habits which all ultimately add up to make you a better person. I just wasn't doing that. But that's the thing. We are creatures of habit. That you guys will know I'm massively into my philosophy, and it was the Stoic philosophers that were massively into habit. They were massively into daily routines. Why? It's because if we practice stuff every single day, and I mean every single day, I don't mean, you know, just do it once or twice here and there. You know, go out for a run twice a week or something. I mean, do this every day, you know, obviously factor in your rest days or whatever, but, you know, make it a habit to be thinking about this stuff every single day. By doing that, you kind of create a sense of sacredness around these activities, these habits, you know. It starts to make it important. It becomes your lifestyle, you know, and it's something which is intrinsically important to you. If you do these things like every now and then, are you really, you know, holding these things up and seeing the value in them? Are you truly valuing your health when you don't exercise enough? Are you truly valuing your financial situation if you're not actively investing and putting money away, you know? Probably not, you know? So that's why routine is so important. That's why the Stoics loved it. It's because it brings around this sense of sacredness and brings a sense of value into, yes, the activities, but also the lifestyle and who you want to be. And this ties in nicely to the second thing which I'm going to talk about. Identity. You have got to master your identity, and you have to start thinking about what kind of person you want to become, okay? Because you can't change who you are if you don't change your identity. I mean, that sounds so obvious, but at the same time, I don't think people really sort of process this and think about this and understand this, you know? 97% of people relapse on their good habits. What do I mean by this? I'm saying that, let's say your goal is to lose a certain amount of weight, right? Maybe you're feeling a bit chubby, a little bit overweight, you want to slim down a little bit, you know, and just feel a bit better about yourself, or get in good shape, get in good health. Let's say your goal is to lose a certain amount of weight. Once people lose that a certain amount of weight, 97% of them will relapse on that goal, relapse on that habit. Why? It's because a lot of people don't shift their identity in achieving their goals. You know, a lot of the time they achieve the goal and nothing happens. Whereas the real way to go about this, the proper way to go about this, is to first change your identity and then achieve the goal. And you'll become one of that 3%. You will not relapse on that habit, on that goal. Okay? Because that's the most important thing. Everything which we do in our lives, it all centers around our identity. Why do you go to the gym? Why do you watch too much Netflix? Why do you eat unhealthily? Why do you enjoy being around your friends? Why do we do anything? It's because we do those things because that's who we are. That's who we see ourselves as, you know? I was sleeping in for the last few weeks because I was thinking of myself and I identified as someone who is not a morning person, okay? I am a morning person. Look, I'm saying it right now, I'm focusing on this. I'm shifting my identity. I am a morning person now. But the last few weeks before, I didn't think of myself as a morning person. So I had nothing to get up early out of bed for, because I wasn't the person who gets out of bed early in the morning. Why would I, I've recently been going to the gym a lot this week and really, getting in the gym, working hard and trying to get into the shape which I want to be in, I wasn't doing that before. Why? Because I didn't identify as a gym goer. I didn't identify as someone who loves to go to the gym, loves to, lift some heavy weight and, really tap into that natural monster inside of all of us, that natural sense of fire, Maybe it's masculinity, I don't know. But I'm just talking from what I feel. But, I didn't really tap into that. I didn't identify with that. But I'm identifying with it now, and that's what's getting me through this week, Something else which I heard in a podcast. I heard it before, but it was something I heard in a podcast which really sort of resonated with me quite a lot. And it's kind of been carrying me through the week I've had so far, and it certainly will carry me into the future. And I want you guys to listen to me when I say this, because this is really important. And it's a quote from James Clear, something he says in his book, Atomic Habits. Fantastic book, by the way. If you haven't read that, you need to, because it's one of those books which is just a life-changing book. Once you understand the power of habit and you understand how to implement these habits into your life, you will change as a person. You will change your identity and you will become the person you want to be. But what he said was, and what hit me really hard was this. He said, every action you take is a vote for the person you want to be. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to be. In those moments when I was sitting on my sofa, just relaxing, maybe I was feeling a bit tired or something, or maybe I was playing some video games, wasting my time, or something like that, I said that quote in my head to myself. And I said, who is the type of person I want to be? Obviously, I want to be someone who's in good shape. I want to put on a little bit of muscle, lean, get lean, but at the same time bulk up a tiny bit, and just get in some better shape. Would that person sit on that bed and play video games? Would that person lie down on the sofa and chill out all evening? Hell no. They'd be getting up and they'd be going to the gym. Why? Because they fucking love it. Because they love becoming the person that they want to be. So I became that. I shifted that identity and I became the person that wanted to go to the gym, that wanted to put myself in that discomfort, because I wanted what was behind that. I wanted to get in good shape. So I had to become that person. And that quote has carried me, because, sometimes our identities slip a little bit. Sometimes we just lack the motivation to do these kinds of things. Probably that's why I've been so off it recently, was because I was lacking motivation. I wasn't disciplined enough. That's another important thing, is discipline. Listen to episode 3 of this podcast if you haven't done already, because that is, I talk a lot about discipline, and I think you'll find a lot of value in that. But yeah, I was lacking discipline. I'd run out of motivation, a bit burnt out probably, a little bit. I've been working hard on this podcast, working hard on my freelance work, working hard on a lot of things in life. Everyone works hard on a lot of different things in life, and I'm a very driven person, so sometimes I put too much pressure on myself to do too much. Which is partly why I'm trying to slow down the podcast a little bit, and I'm just doing these Tuesday episodes. It also allows me to put more energy into the Tuesday episodes and make sure these are really top notch for you guys, as I'm trying to do with this episode. But I was just lacking motivation, and I just didn't feel like going to the gym. But that one quote from James Clear, every action you take is a vote for the person you want to be, that triggered my discipline. I didn't want to go to the gym, but I wanted to identify as someone that wants to go to the gym or goes to the gym anyway. I had to be that change. So that's what I did, Now, number 3 for you on this list is people. Surround yourself with positive people, because we are the sum of our 5 closest friends, right? Think about this right now. Who are the 5 people which you spend the most time with in your life? Maybe that might be your family. Maybe that might be your friends. Maybe that might be, say, your siblings, or maybe it might be your work colleagues, something like that. Who do you spend the most time with in your life? And are they the type of people that you want to become? Do you aspire to be like those types of people? Because if you don't, maybe you should spend a little bit less time with them. You know, I mentioned earlier in the podcast that Jack coming down to Worthing and living with me, well, not living with me, but living near me, has impacted me massively because, like me, Jack is a very driven guy. So when we're around each other, we sort of drive each other. We build each other up and we become our best selves, you know, because we are both the types of people that we each want to become, right? You know, we kind of lift each other up. So this plays massively into your identity. Think about the programming that's going on in your brain when you spend time around people. I've done an episode on this before. Again, a lot of the stuff I talk about. I've done an episode on it already, but you know, the programming in your mind. I can't recall what the title's called. It's about reprogramming your mind. I think it's how to reprogram your mind for success. I believe. I don't quite know, but anyways, every single moment of our lives, our brains are being programmed. Every single and specifically our subconscious brain. So you're not even aware of this. You don't even realize this is going on, and you don't quite realize how much your subconscious brain affects your life and your reality. Listen to the episode for more details on that. But every single moment your brain is being programmed. Imagine your brain is like a computer. Every single second you're downloading software from your surroundings, from your environment, from people like your friends, probably your 5 closest friends, you know. So, the more time you spend around these people, the more that these people will seep, and their ideas and their habits and who they are, the more that seeps into your subconscious brain. So the more time you spend around people, the more you become like those people without even realizing it. This is like mind-blowing stuff, seriously, but it's true. That's just the truth, right? So think about who you're spending the most time with. Are they the kind of people that you aspire to be like? And if they're not, maybe you might have to make some changes, shift things around. I'm not saying cut them out of your life, because look, we all need friends to go down the pub with. We all need friends to relax with and chill out with, have a laugh with, that kind of thing. But we also need friends who are going to drive us and motivate us if you are someone who wants to succeed. You know, if you are someone that wants to level up, you know. And look, you don't necessarily have to do this with friends. Sometimes it's as simple as just listen to some podcasts or something. If you listen to this podcast, don't believe for a second that I am not programming your brain right now to think more positively about things, to think about how you're leveling up in life, to think about personal development. I'm doing it every single time you tap into this podcast and put your headphones in and listen, you know? So don't believe that anything in your surroundings isn't. It's even the TV you watch. It's even the music you listen to, you know? Stuff like this that you don't even think about. That's programming your brain every single second of your life. So, I mean, just become conscious of that and just, you know, keep making little changes every now and then to make sure that these things, whatever is affecting you, whatever is programming you, whether it be good, cut it out, whether it's bad, whether it's bad, cut it out, whether it's good, you know, try and get a bit more of that in your life, you know, meet up for coffee with them, listen to that podcast more, you know, maybe you just need to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode of Happy Days, who knows, you know, but it's so important that we think about the people though in our lives. And number 4, I've got written down, master your morning. The morning is the most important part of the day. Why? Because it sets the bar for the rest of your day. If you can, you know, do the most difficult tasks in the morning, you know, and really nail the habits, the tasks, you know, whatever it is, if you nail that, then the rest of the day will likely follow, you know. You can afford to chill out for the rest of the day if you get the most important tasks done in the morning. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do right now. That's what I've done this week. You know, I mentioned earlier that maybe I'm feeling a little bit burnt out. I don't know if it's burnout exactly, but I'm certainly worn out. You know, I'm certainly tired. So I'm trying to finish my day at around 3:00, you know, and instead of sitting there at my desk until 7, which I had been before, which is just ridiculous to sit at your desk from, you know, 9 till 7. You know, what is that? Is that like 10 hours or something? Stupid, right? 10-hour day. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, instead of doing that, I'll sit down and I'll read for a bit and, you know, yes, I'm still sort of growing, progressing and stuff, but I'm not putting that pressure on myself anymore. I'm not putting that myself through that unnecessary stress of just sitting at your desk and procrastinating, or, doing stupid tasks that can wait, and that kind of thing, And I'll be, getting out of the house and that kind of thing. I'll be seeing people. I'll be, doing other things which are as equally important in your life as work. So if you master your morning, you master your day. The what's that phrase that people say? Getting out of bed, getting out the wrong side of bed in the morning. Jesus, I'm all over the place today. Yeah, that phrase. Someone's woken up on the wrong side of bed today, or whatever the exact phrase is. I don't know. You know what I'm saying anyway. That's the real thing, because the most sacred and important part of the day is the morning. As I say, because it sets the bar, but also because however your morning is, the day tends to kind of replicate that somewhat. And this is mostly down to a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. See, a lot of our lives, a lot of our reality and what we perceive is actually filtered out. So, for example, let's say you're reading a book and you discover a new word and you add it to your vocabulary. Let's say that word is fantastic. I mean, obviously, most people know the word fantastic, but this is just an analogy. This is just to break it down and help you guys understand. Let's say you suddenly learn the word fantastic. Chances are you'll probably end up seeing that word everywhere. You might be reading the next day and look, it's popped up again. Fantastic. This is because of a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. It filters out your reality. It's the same thing when you get a new car and suddenly you see that car everywhere. Those cars were always there. It's just your brain filtered them out because that car wasn't important to you at that time. It's the same thing when, if you're in a busy room and lots of people might be having a conversation, blah, 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 and it's all just noise, then suddenly you just hear your name being said from across the room. And you're like, hang on a minute. Someone's just said my name. You weren't listening to any of those conversations. Of course you weren't. Because they were all being filtered out by your brain, by your reticular activating system. But that word, your name, say it's Callum. Callum is an important word to me. Why? It's because of my name, obviously. So that doesn't get filtered out. That is important. It's deemed as important by the reticular activating system, so it's kept in my life. So our reticular activating system is constantly kind of picking out our thoughts and beliefs, our most prominent thoughts and beliefs, most prominent ideas and these kinds of things. So if you are actively starting your day positively, your brain will pick out all of the positive aspects of your life. So if you start the day positively by getting up in the morning and going for a run or something, the rest of your day, you'll be picking out all the positive things in life, Whereas if you get out of bed the wrong side, or let's say you get out of bed and stub your toe, woe is me, the world sucks, I hate this, The rest of your day, you'll be picking out all the negative things in your life. It might be raining or something. You're like, it's raining today. It's terrible. Or you look outside, it's cloudy today. It's cloudy all the bloody time in England, if you live in England or the UK. But we'll only pick this out when we're in a negative mindset, in a negative space, So start your day off positively. Master your morning. What me and Jack have been doing, the main reason why Jack's had such an impact is because we have mastered our mornings recently. We've been getting up at 6:30 every day, heading down to the beach, going for a run along the beach, around 5k or so, and then we'll come back and jump in the sea. Now, I'll tell you what, Worthing Seafront, where we live, is freezing. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie. This morning it was windy as hell. The waves were rough as hell. It wasn't massively pleasant. But I tell you what, it does start your day off positively, because you do that uncomfortable thing of the run. You do the uncomfortable thing of getting in the sea, the discomfort. It's serving you. It's going to impact you positively. So in turn, the rest of your day is positive as hell. I've been feeling awesome this week. Why? Because I've just been jumping in the sea. And that sounds stupid. It sounds a bit crazy, but it makes an impact. I'll tell you what. So look, if you don't believe me, go ahead. Be my guest. Go jump in the sea for the next week. And I'll tell you what, you will see the difference. Because by doing these difficult things and putting yourself through that discomfort, which will ultimately serve you, and there's loads of reasons why a sea dip is good for you. Or maybe I'll do an episode on it. Or maybe I'll do a TikTok. Who knows? But by doing that, man, it just kicks your day off right. You just get in that good space. And the rest of the day follows. So master your morning. And you'll master the rest of your day. I did an episode on that, so make sure you check that episode out. It's called How to Master Your Morning, something along those lines. I'm not really good at remembering these titles. But yeah, that's all that I have for today's episode of the podcast. I do truly hope that you did enjoy it, as always. If you did, please consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, because it does truly help the show. Also, let me know your feedback. Please connect with me on LinkedIn? Whoa! On Instagram. I want to hear from you guys. My Instagram handle is @callum.g.church. Drop me a message. Let me know that you're enjoying the podcasts. And again, I do truly hope you did enjoy today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. So there you go, that's the end of the show. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe on your podcasting app of choice, so you can download and listen as each episode is released. If this episode helped you in any way, tell your friends, tell your family, maybe even leave a cheeky review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps the show. But that's all for now. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode, released shortly. Take care.